Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about sales traps to avoid. I'm Jay Torres. I'm a HVAC sales engineer based in Southern California. I've been working in the industry for about 20 years. And in this video I want to talk about some of the sales traps we as sales engineers want to avoid. The first sales trap I want to talk about is being proactive versus reactive. Now, what do I mean by that? Being reactive is, of course, reacting to something. A lot of our jobs is to reply and to respond to emails and phone calls. I get a lot of emails from customers asking for quotes, asking for tech support, just asking for my help in general. And that's my job, right? My job is to help my customers eventually sell the products that we represent. But a lot of the times you can get bogged down by a lot of those tasks. So we get a ton of requests to quote jobs. So we'll get emailed plans and specs on different jobs with our equipment on it, and people ask us, can you price up this equipment? Sometimes they give us 2 weeks, sometimes they give us only a couple hours to put together a price, and our customers expect us to get them a price back. A lot of times our time gets bogged down with those types of tasks. So how do we switch that, and instead of becoming reactive, be proactive? A lot of the times our customers were coming to us for pricing on projects, and the software that we have to price up our equipment is available to everybody. So instead of being reactive and pricing out these jobs that get sent to me, I decided to be proactive, and instead of me doing all the work, I would empower my customers to be able to use the software and be able to price up the projects themselves. Now, they're not going to be able to price up everything on their own. Some projects are either complex and they need our help. Sometimes they're under a super time crunch and they have other things that they need to put together on their bids. So that's why they reach out to us. But after a certain number of requests, I thought to myself, like this is not the most efficient way to do this. I'm only one person, but I wanted to empower my customers. I reached out to the inside sales team managers and said, hey, let's train the entire team so we can all tackle these requests as they come in. Another sales trap that we want to avoid is always saying yes. One of the things that I deal with, that I suffer from, is I'm a people pleaser. I mean, I'm in sales. I want my customers to do well. I want them to sell as much as they can because that benefits me at the end of the day. But at certain times, always saying yes to every request that comes my way is not a good thing. First of all, it sets an expectation that you're either always going to comply or you're a pushover. Our jobs are complex and not every situation is the same. So let's take, for example, we get a lot of requests to bid projects, and a lot of the times we are not the basis of design. We are not the basis of design maybe 70% of the time. So that means for 70% of the jobs that we get requests for, we are chasing them. So we're not the basis of design. We're not what the project was laid out around. So we're playing a catch-up game. And a lot of times our customers, from their customers, they're getting asked to bid these jobs, and they just reach out to us and just say, hey, I need a price for this. I need a price for that. It's bid, it's spec Daikin, it's spec LG. Can you cross this over? And most of the time it's fine, but a lot of the times we have to step back and say, is this really worth my time to bid this? We had a project come across where it was, we're not the basis of design. It was laid out 2-3 years ago because we initially put out a price against our competitor, and now it's coming back. And it came back, and I thought the plans were more or less the same, but it was still laid out LG. It was still like a monstrous project, and I asked, is this really the best use of our time? In those 2 years, what has happened? Why didn't we get basis of design? Now that 2 years has passed, I ask again, even more. It makes more sense now. Why haven't we flipped it in those 2 years, how come the conversation wasn't had that let's switch this around? And in those 2 years, we might have gotten some good feedback if the question had been asked to the engineers, like, hey, do we have a shot at this? Can we maybe flip it to using us? Ultimately, the engineers are at the mercy of the architect and eventually the building owner. And if for whatever reason the building owner has a preference or there's a national account agreement, whatever the case may be, if there's no chance in flipping the job over, even at bid time, then why even bid it again and waste our time if there's no chance? So it depends on, of course, we're always going to want to please our customers and do what's right for them. But in some cases, it's not always helpful to say yes, because then you'll just be turning your wheels. You are going to be wasting your time. And that's not good in the grand scheme of things. And finally, the last sales trap I want to avoid is the pressure to give an answer. And whenever I would get customer requests, and a lot of them were technical support type questions. So, can our equipment do this? How far can we place the indoor unit from the outdoor unit? Can our equipment operate in these types of conditions? A lot of the times, these questions are over the phone, and you're seen as the expert, and you're pressured to give an answer right at then and there. And I've done this in the past when I was younger. I think I had an idea. I think I maybe have read that in our product data. I think I might have heard that in the presentation that yes, that or no, we can do this or that. And I've been burned on more than a handful of times giving the wrong answer. Now, if I don't know the answer or if I'm not 110% sure of an answer, I will always say, I don't know, but I will find out. And I can tell, I tell a lot of young engineers this, but I've gotten to where I am today by simply saying, I don't know the answer, but I know how to find it. And that has gotten me farther than, a lot of other pieces of advice. One, your customers appreciate your honesty. Two, they appreciate that they're not trying to BS you and try to give them an answer. And three, they'll appreciate all of that. And even though it might take you a couple minutes, maybe an hour or a day to get back to them with an answer, you'll know for a fact that you are giving them the right answer, and they know that they're confident in you in giving them the right answer. And at the end of the day, that just builds trust, that builds repeat business, and that leads to success for you and your customer. I hope you enjoyed this video on certain sales traps to avoid. If you've got other sales traps that you think you should avoid and that could be helpful to other sales engineers, please leave a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I talk about HVAC, sales, and things to help you in your job. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.